Today is National Gun Violence Awareness Day across the country, and over 190 partners, including religious organizations, mental health organizations, hospitals, gun violence prevention groups, and many, many cultural influencers are coming together today across our nation to say we need to bring an end to gun violence. And there are 135 events going on today across the country with thousands upon thousands of people all there giving a voice to the need for gun violence to be addressed in our country. My name is Denmar Tesla, and I am the Pennsylvania State Leader for Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America. Sure. Our Wear Orange event here in Harrisburg for the Capital Region is meant to be activism and fun joined together. So it's actually a community picnic, and people can come and bring their children along. We have a children's play area. We have face painting for the kids. We have an orange selfie booth where people can go up and hold up crazy masks and put on funny hats and take a selfie. And we're hoping people share those images on Twitter or on Facebook to spread the word that we care and we want the ending of gun violence in our country. It's as simple as that. Last year on Twitter, Wear Orange trended globally, and we're hoping to achieve that same goal this year. So it's about getting the word out there from people all over this country, from all different races and walks of life, saying end gun violence. One of our partners in this event is Heeding God's Call here in Harrisburg, and they make a t-shirt for every person who is a victim of gun violence here in the city. And today we want this to be a very uplifting event. We're here today not to have a vigil, but to celebrate their lives. So they're doing a love note station. And at that station, if you know any of those victims, you can write them a note and say, I remember you. I used to watch you play football. And if you don't know them, you can just make a note that says, I care, and I wear orange for you to end gun violence.
Good evening. My name is Denmar Tesla, and I am the Pennsylvania State Lead for Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America. I joined Moms Demand Action after Sandy Hook Elementary School when I sat at my table and thought, I can't sit back any longer and wait for other people to take action. I know that is why you are all here tonight too, because you can no longer wait and watch loved ones and friends die from gun violence. And nothing is happening until we make it happen. And thank you so much for being a part of that. Tonight is a night where we're combining activism and fun. And we want you to have a good time. It is a night where rather than a vigil, we're celebrating the lives of those we lost. We're honoring them by coming out and making our voices heard, whether it's by signing the mural in the back of the park or getting a selfie taken in crazy orange garb and sharing it on Twitter and on Facebook to let people know that we want an end to gun violence. So please do visit our stations. We have a wonderful Be Smart station. Please stop there, and it actually is being run by Harrisburg's very own Police Chief Carter and his wife Talisha, and we are so glad to have them here tonight actually working at our event. We also have a wonderful t-shirt display that is here but by the goodness of Heeding God's Call. And tonight we're asking you to share a note with the people listed on the t-shirt. If you know any of them, please send them a note. Please let them know you care. If you don't know them, just a simple note saying, I wore orange tonight for you, or you are missed, and we will work to make a difference. I would like to talk just a bit about why we are here today. Wear Orange started with a small group of teenagers in Chicago, and in just a few years, it has grown into a nationwide movement against gun violence. It was only 2013 when Hadia Pendleton, a majorette and high school student, marched in President Obama's second inaugural parade. She went back home to school and was shot dead on her way home from school, trying to get out of the rain. Her friends, these teenagers, these still children, all went out and bought orange and put it on and started speaking around their community. And they chose the color orange because it's the hunter safety color. Wear orange means don't shoot. We are human, don't shoot at us. It has now grown into a partnership of over 190 organizations and cultural influencers, from Heeding God's Call and Moms Demand Action to MTV, VH1, and the NBA. It has grown into quite an immense undertaking, and we have 135 events going on across the country today. So you are part of hundreds of thousands of people who are coming together in their communities to say there is something that can be done about gun violence. You know, with this seemingly endless stream of tragedies, it's tempting to become disheartened. And the truth is actually hard to swallow. America has 20 times the death rate from guns of any other developed country. 20 times more deaths from guns than any country. And this year marked a very sad but crucial turning point. This year, more people were killed by guns in this country than killed in automobile accidents. Think about that. This summer is also a pivotal moment. All across the country, Republicans and Democrats are nominating their candidates for elected office, from president to city council member. And there is no more important time for all of us to be here wearing our orange, because by standing here today, you are showing that we, families, survivors, elected officials, faith leaders, concerned citizens, we will fight and we will do whatever it takes to end gun violence in America. We are the majority of Americans, and together we can end gun violence.
Yes, we can.
I would like to now introduce three people that in Moms we refer to as gun sense heroes, for very vocally and very strongly supporting an end to gun violence. And we're going to start this with Harrisburg's very own mayor, Mayor Eric Pappenfuss, who has an important announcement to make tonight. Mayor Pappenfuss.
Thank you, Deb. It's good to see a sea of orange. It really is. And who said activists can't have fun? We can combine both fun and activism, and we're doing it tonight. I've signed the mural. I have posed for my selfie. I took the Chief's quiz, and I got an A, didn't I, Chief? Yes, it was very good. And I'm here to have fun while at the same time honoring those that we have lost and hopefully sending a message. I think it's very important that we're here on the Capitol grounds and that we are going to turn the Capitol Dome orange tonight. Because, and I don't mind being slightly political, I can do it, which is, you know, our legislators, they've got a choice. They can either be part of the solution and they can work to end gun violence and make our streets safer, or they can be part of the problem and continue to cower to the gun lobby, which makes our streets unsafe. So, as they see the orange tonight, I hope they will keep that in mind. In Harrisburg, we are fortunate to have a police chief and a police force which is committed to making our streets safer and to healing the divides between our community and our police, and in defending our common sense gun legislation, which we believe is terribly important. But I'm here tonight because I have a very special proclamation. And no fun event is complete without a mayoral proclamation, right? Right. So it's going to start serious and it's going to end with thunderous applause. Are we ready? Okay. Whereas every day 91 Americans are killed by gun violence and the lives of countless others are injured. And whereas as Americans we are 25 times more likely to be murdered with guns than people in other developed countries throughout the world. And whereas protecting public safety in our communities is one of a mayor's highest responsibility, and whereas support for Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens can go hand in hand with keeping guns away from dangerous people, it's not that complicated. And whereas mayors and law enforcement officers know their communities best, are the most familiar with local criminal activity and how to address it, and are best positioned, along with the community, to understand how to keep our citizenry safe. And whereas anyone can join this campaign as we have here by always pledging to wear orange on June 2nd to help raise awareness about the scourge of gun violence. And whereas by wearing orange, Americans not only raise awareness, but they honor the lives of those lost and the human potential lost of Americans who have been stolen from us by gun violence. And whereas we renew our commitment to reducing gun violence and pledge to do all that we can to keep firearms out of the wrong hands and encourage responsible gun ownership only to help keep our children safe, I, Eric Pappenfuss, therefore, as mayor of the Harrisburg City, do proclaim today, June 2nd, as National Gun Violence Awareness Day. Hooray!
We can do it! We can do it!
Let's stick together. We can do it! 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 We can do it!
We can do it!
We can do it!
I love this proclamation. Thank you so much, Mayor Pappenfuss. Our next speaker, I think it's very fitting that he is at the Be Smart table. And I will tell you that if a police chief says to you, be smart, you better be smart. So you best listen to him. And please do visit the table, because what it's really about is responsible gun ownership and keeping guns secured away from children, and checking before your children visit a friend's home to see if there are unsecured guns there. And if each of us takes personal responsibility, we can make a difference in saving the lives of our precious children who are finding these guns and using them on themselves or their siblings or their friends. So now it is my great pleasure to introduce Harrisburg's Police Chief, Chief Tom Carter.
Thank you. Thank you much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I'm kind of stuffy right now, but you know, as we gather here, I look around here, and we all want to stop gun violence. We have the same theme. We have the same thoughts. We have the same wishes. Gun violence is pledging our country something awful. And wearing orange is great. But what I would like to see, I would like to see all of our activist groups all get together, all become one voice, go to the state capitol and protest and picket those people to make them understand that we are sick and tired of gun violence. We are sick and tired of our young people getting shot and killed in the streets for no reason whatsoever. That's what I would like to see. I would like to see the group from Philadelphia. I would like to see this group here, all come together as one, because as long as we have so many splinter groups, no one listens to us. But if we come together as one, that's when they listen, because it's more than one vote talking right then and there. I would like to see Mr. Watson as part of that with his people. You know, just looking around at the t-shirts over there, people don't understand this here, but Joyce Davis does, because she's back there with us sometime. Every time someone gets killed in this city, the families suffer, the relatives suffer, their friends suffer, but the stare that the mayor gives me and I give him is just hurtful, because we also suffer. We also hurt, because we're looking at each other and saying, How did we fail? Why did we fail? We're not giving up the fight. We're going to hang in there, and we are going to do our best to stop gun violence. That is my pledge. I know it's the mayor's pledge. The fight is just starting. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And you're absolutely right, Chief Carter. It takes all of us working together as a unified group to make this happen, because our voices outnumber those who disagree with us. And I will soon be sharing with you some of the victories that we have had in this movement. But first, we have one more speaker, a very special friend, a very special colleague from Heeding God's Call, Reverend Ron Tilly.
Thank you. As the organizer of the Harrisburg chapter of Heeding God's Call, I stand before you to call for the community to rise up and call for sensible gun legislation. This is a problem that can be solved. This is a public health problem, everybody. You know, years ago, when people were in cars and the death rate was so high, someone said, maybe we should have seatbelts. Maybe that would help solve the problem. And you know what? Seatbelts have drastically cut down on deaths and automobile accidents. But people went kicking and fighting, actually, to put seatbelts in the car. And it was a big fight. And now we have a similar battle in front of us. There's a public health epidemic of people being killed by illegal guns in our community. We've had 90 people since 2009 have been murdered in Harrisburg. Overwhelmingly, the majority of those guns are illegal guns. We have straw purchases going on in our community, and we can close those loopholes so that it takes a background check for every gun transaction in this country. Universal background checks make sense. There's no reason why a private sale should not include a background check in Pennsylvania. No reason whatsoever. And we've got to cut down on straw purchases. We've got to cut down on the people and the dealers that turn a blind eye to people buying guns for other people who can't have the guns. And we've got to crack down on straw purchases, because that can make our community safer. If we had less guns on the streets, we'd see less of these homicides, because we see it in other countries. When there's less guns on the streets, they see less homicides. And I am so proud of Harrisburg, because we do so many things to break the cycle of violence in our city. People always say, well, why don't you do something proactive? There are proactive things going on in our city, and we need to let people know about them. We've got a lot of young people here from Agape Satyagraha. If you're from Agape Satyagraha, give a shout out. Yay! And these are young people from Harrisburg who come every week to learn how to solve their differences in peaceful ways, to learn how to help their friends to resolve conflicts in ways that don't involve violence. They learn about negotiation, mediation, and social change. They're the leaders of tomorrow. And we need more initiatives like that to break the cycle of violence where people think it's okay to pick up an illegal gun and to murder someone over a stupid argument. You know, it touched me when my friend Matt Dyson, who I saw grow up as a young boy, went in to a club having a good time and a drink accidentally spilled on someone. Out in the parking lot, he was murdered with an illegal gun because a drink spilled. It doesn't have to be that way. We can break that cycle of mentality that says the guns are the way to resolve our differences. My uncle was murdered with a stolen gun. If that gun would have had the kind of technology that is available today, called a child-proof gun, where only the owner can fire the gun, my uncle would be alive today. And that technology is out there. Our young people aren't scared of technology. They know that it can make this world a better place. And we shouldn't be scared of technology either, in terms of making guns safer so that only the people who buy the gun and have been cleared through a background check are able to shoot the gun. You'd have a lot less guns being stolen if they were rendered useless once they were out of the hands of the person who rightfully purchased and owns the gun and passed the background check. We have this technology, and this can change the future. We can have sensible gun legislation today. We don't have to wait until tomorrow. The people who say that it's too hard for Pennsylvania because Pennsylvania is too much steeped in a gun culture are wrong. I grew up in a hunting gun culture. You can keep a hunting culture and still have sensible, safe gun legislation in your state. You don't have to choose between one and the other. As people of faith, we can reach a dialogue, we can reach a solution where both sides know that a solution has come to that promotes peace, where the people that are concerned about their right to carry a gun legally can do so, and the people that are concerned about the illegal guns and the murders that come from the illegal guns on our streets, where they can see that those illegal guns are coming off the street and are being rendered useless by new laws. Thank you very much.
Good job.
Thank you. There are some people who believe that nothing will ever happen to reduce gun violence in America, that our elected officials will never act, and there aren't any solutions. But I want you to know the real story. Across this country, Americans have risen up to demand change, and we are winning. In just the past 3 years, Moms Demand Action has been a part of these victories. We've helped close the background check loophole in 6 states. We personally educated thousands of Americans about gun safety and keeping guns secure in the home. We've helped pass laws to keep guns out of the hands of domestic abusers in 13 states and have a bill coming up right here in our state capitol very, very soon. We ask you to help support that bill and make it happen. We have convinced American businesses across the country, from Starbucks to Target, to stand up for safety and enact gun sense policies that do not allow the open carry of guns in stores where we are shopping with our children. We have worked endlessly to fight the dangerous gun lobby legislation in all 50 states, including Pennsylvania, where we have, for the first time, I think, ever, beaten back some bad gun bills that at one point would have waltzed right through our legislature. We have defeated gun lobby priority legislation that would force guns onto college campuses, into our K-12 schools, and allow anyone to carry hidden guns in public without even a permit or any kind of safety training. And believe me, these bills are being pushed all over our country. And we helped to generate over 10,000 calls to the White House when President Obama took executive action to keep guns out of the hands of dangerous people. We actually shut down their phone boards. And we have resoundingly rejected the gun lobby's vision for our country, which provides unfettered access to guns to anyone, anywhere, no questions asked, no matter how dangerous they are. It's not going to happen because we are on the job, and we are going to win, and we are going to get this done.
Absolutely.
I ask of each of you here today to please continue this work. Don't make it a one-day-a-year event. Keep going with it. We are handing out flyers at our sign-in table with information. We're having an upcoming screening of Under the Gun, the Katie Couric documentary. If you would like to know about what gun violence is like in this country, please come join us to see this amazing documentary. It is so educational and so impactful and so incredibly scary. If you did not receive one of those flyers, please pick one up or ask to join us by just texting 644-33. And by texting that to us and leaving your phone number, you will receive texts of all our actions. And I will tell you, I'm giving you a little bit of a sneak preview. There will be a bad bill coming very soon into our state legislature, and we are going to need people to contact their senators to let them know we do not want it passed. So by joining us, we will send you all the information you need, including helping you connect to your senator so that you can ask them to vote against this very dangerous bill. I mentioned earlier that we have 135 events across the country, and we have kind of a special tradition that started here in Pennsylvania. At every one of these events, we honor our survivors, but here in PA, we always ask them to come up front. And right now, I'm going to ask anyone who has been a victim or survivor of gun violence, who has lost a family member or loved one, to please come up here to the very front right now so we can collectively show you some love. Anyone, please, if you're a survivor, come up. These people have so courageously lived through a nightmare that no person should ever have to live through, and have, with strength that is sometimes unbelievable, stood up and fought back to make life safer for the rest of us. We owe them a breath of gratitude for everything they do. Thank you so much. Thank you.